Hey everybody, it's Wootini from VGAs here again. A lot of people have been saying they missed the podcast. Unfortunately, I had nothing to do with the podcast, and I don't actually know how to do a podcast. But I have a video camera, and I know how to upload to YouTube, so I thought, why not try a video podcast? So here you go. This is the pilot for the video game podcast for VGAs. Let me know what you think, and please be gentle because I've never done this before, so I am literally just winging it. Definitely Animal Crossing, as you know. I play Animal Crossing all the time, so that's a given. I've also been playing a lot of Alan Wake because that came with my new Xbox that I had to get because my other one red-ringed. That's 2. So I decided to just upgrade to the new black slim Xbox because I also needed a larger hard drive anyway for all my downloadable stuff. So it came with 2 free games. Forza, not so interested in racing games, but Alan Wake was something I was going to get when it came out, except that it came out at the same time as a bunch of other really good games, so it kind of fell by the wayside. But I do like Alan Wake. It's a little spooky, scary, it's got a great storyline. Some of the acting is a little bit awkward, but in general it's a really good game. Obviously I've been playing a lot of Dance Central. Everybody knows I love that game. I was very upset because recently I had a really bad cold, so I went for like 2 or 3 weeks where I barely had enough energy to play Connectables, or even a video game where you just push buttons. So Dance Central was just not going to happen. But then I felt better, so I was able to finally get back into it, and I even finally managed to 5-star all the songs, which was a big triumph for me. Of course, that was just on easy. Now I gotta work on medium. And last, but certainly not least, Golden Sun, Dark Dawn on the DS. So good. It's a great old-school RPG. I have to admit that the instructions teach you the touchscreen controls, but I much prefer using the directional pad and the buttons when I'm playing an RPG for that long, because otherwise my hand gets cramped up trying to hold the DS and use the touchscreen. I just find it awkward, but that's just me. And it was a little awkward because I feel like it was made to be used with touchscreen controls, and that was a little easier, and it's less intuitive with the buttons. But I got used to it real quick. And it's a great, great game, good RPG, and it's nice because it's a direct sequel. It takes place 30 years after the first Golden Sun games, so those characters are here as adults, and their children are who you're playing now. So everybody's in it. Family reunion. And that's about what I'm playing this week. I'll start with the video game awards that were on Spike TV this weekend, and they were kind of embarrassing to watch. I gotta admit, the little stuff that they did, some of the stuff they did with the graphics on the stage were kind of cool, but in general, like, all the hosts looked like they didn't know why they were there. I gave a couple of them some credit for actually being embarrassed to be reading those cue cards they were given. Neil Patrick Harris was a fine host, I guess, but pretty much all the jokes were terrible. The live Angry Birds demonstration that he tried to do was about the only thing I thought was mildly amusing, but even that wasn't that funny. It was basically just like a bunch of awards interrupting the trailers for games that we wanted to see. And I feel like I would have just watched it if it had been an hour long and a series of game trailers. With no host or anything, just one trailer right after the other, I would have watched that. No problem. But they did have to give out some awards. But all the awards were going to the same games, because it was all pretty much like Call of Duty, Red Dead Redemption, Halo, the usual suspects. The only category that they televised that was even remotely different was the indie game category, which went to Limbo, which was great. Everything else was just pretty much exactly what you would expect. Just a big bunch of macho, hey, look at us, we're so awesome with our big guns and everything. And especially that opening number with the big gay song and dance, and then Neil Patrick Harris comes out and guns them all down, and I just thought, this is weird. I don't feel comfortable with this. It's like Neil Patrick Harris had to say, look, I'm not going to do big gay song and dance just because I'm gay. I can be macho and play video games too. And I'm going to kill all these big gay dancers, because that's not what this is about. And that just didn't sit right with me. I also saw this week a press release from Konami touting the release of a Hello Kitty game for the Wii. And I thought, oh, another one. But then I saw that it said it was the very first Hello Kitty game on the Wii. And I thought, how can that be? Because don't you just think, like, the Wii should be home to, like, a bajillion different Hello Kitty games that little girls were playing all over the country and the world? Apparently not. This is the very first Hello Kitty minigame collection. Go figure. I'm still not going to play it, though. They also announced, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix announced that they're rebooting the Tomb Raider franchise. I don't know if it's so much of a reboot as much of it is just we're doing a prequel and we're going to show you her origin story. I don't know if that's going to be the launch of a new series of games saying, well, those other ones didn't happen because we don't like them. And I don't understand why everybody has to reboot everything. But who knows? It might be good. I haven't played a good Tomb Raider game in a while, so if they can make a good one, I will look forward to that. Oh, and of course there were a bunch of trailers at the VGAs for new games that were not coming out for like a year or two, or like the Guillermo del Toro trailer, like that doesn't come out till like 2013. Like, why did you even bother? Why are you there? What are you making that for, that you're going to have it out in 2013? Do you know what the next level of consoles are going to be? Because I feel like by then you're going to have to work on those. I was excited to see the Mass Effect 3 trailer, even though there wasn't much to it, just because it was just exciting to see Earth, because we've never seen Earth. And I was very excited to see that there's going to be a new Elder Scrolls game. I'm just hoping that it's more Morrowind and less Oblivion, because I loved Morrowind. I didn't really love Oblivion because they screwed it up and they made the enemies level up with you, which in a role-playing game, the whole point is that you're supposed to be able to level up to defeat the more powerful enemies. So when those powerful enemies are leveling up with you, there's no point to leveling up. And then if you level up too much, you're walking around and the frickin' rats and wolves and stuff are super strong, and what's that all about? So I'm hoping that they can work that out a little better and maybe make it more like Morrowind, but with the prettiness of Oblivion. And then we can have a new Elder Scrolls game, because I do enjoy them. Alright, so I don't know what else to say. This is my first one. Like I said, I'm winging it. So I thought I'd do coming up this week. We have in stores this week, the big release is going to be Super Mario All-Stars, which is a pretty awesome collection for the Wii, and it's only $30, which is actually really reasonable. So Mario fans are probably going to want to check that one out. The other fun one that I think a lot of people are excited for this week is X-Men the Arcade Game, which is coming out as a downloadable game. So you'll be able to play that on, you know, Xbox Live and whatever, and old school X-Men arcade action. Okay, so I think that'll do me for this week. Like I said, don't know what I'm doing, just winging it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, let me know. If you did, let me know. And if you have any suggestions, please keep in mind that I don't have a lot of technology or technological know-how to do fancy videos, so this is pretty much what you're going to end up with. But I also miss the podcast, so I thought I'll do my part to keep it alive in spirit. And maybe if I do another one, I'll get somebody else to sit with me on the couch, because I know back and forth podcasts are always much better than just one person yammering on endlessly. Although on the plus side, since it's just me talking, I was able to keep this pretty short. So, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and if you liked it, maybe I'll see you next time. Bye now!